a lot of people on here have made assumptions, people that I've got to know on and off YouTube. And a lot of you have made accusations. A lot of you have claimed cover-up or sinister things. And I think that the word cover-up is such a cop-out, really. Because I don't think that, like, anybody, and again, my opinion only, I could be wrong too, I don't know. But I don't think that, like I said, I like to live with the half glass full, half full. And I don't think, in my opinion, anybody did anything sinister. I think it was a horrible accident, and I think a child passed away. And instead of embracing her life the way you guys all want to remember her by, you guys have all tarnished it. And I'm saying you all, and I just mean you all, and take it how you want. And if that's part of you, then good. If it's not a part of you, then good too. But if you've had anything to do with it in those moments, think about what your job profession is and what you have to lose or what you have to gain, meaning a job or your family or credits or non-credits or how much time you put into school. And do you have, like, a nurse can't, a nurse, I'm going to use this as an example because I know I have nurses in here too. And I don't mean to think, I don't want to think anything ill of them, but I think this is a good analogy of it, is that nurses are taught to save lives, right? And they can do everything they can underneath it. If someone comes in and they do every single thing they can to save that person, and they write down and they do everything by the book, everything they can to go write down what they've learned in school, what they've learned on their tests, what they've learned on their on the job, what they've learned wherever they trained at or whatever they did. And that person comes in and they do everything they can for that person, but that person still perishes. Does that mean they didn't do their job? Does that mean they didn't do it well? Does that mean they had a sinister plan? Does that mean a cover-up? Sometimes, I guess, probably in the world. But I would think that I would say probably 90% of the nurses that 100% of the nurses I know personally would do anything by the book, and they would do anything they can to save that patient, even if it's the worst person in the world, even if it's the Unabomber or whatever. Like, they don't get to choose. They don't get to say, when you become a profession in that profession, you don't get to choose who you help and who you don't. And I think that's the same as cops, and I think that's the same as anybody else, is that you don't get to choose who you're going to protect and who you're not. And if you do, you shouldn't be in that job because it's not the job for you. Do I think any of those cops out there, do you think that any of those cops that day when they were pulling that child out of the water had anything but sorrow, sadness, frustration, and anger in them? Was there maybe one that, out of nervousness smiled or didn't follow the protocol to a T? Because I know we've talked about gloves on the car. I don't think you plan for. You can't plan for that. You can't. You could train for it. You can train, like, it's just like a plane, going down. You can have all the training that you know of, and you're still going to mess up. There's always going to be mess ups, but you have to learn from them. Because if you don't learn from them and you do it again, then you shouldn't be in that job. But do you honestly think any of those people that pulled that child out of the lake that day, and out of the lake that day, that they honestly thought anything different than that's a child? Do you think any of them thought I've heard people say that it didn't go in that lake that same day, or it didn't go in the that night. Why on earth would anybody do that? And if there is someone out there that did it, like I said, I think everybody, maybe has questions. You all should, you could do what if until your cows come home, but it's not going to change the price of the milk today. It's not.